that normal to walk with your phone in your hand sometimes. Like this guy just with the dog. But most people, if they're not using their phones, they have them in their pocket or in their purses. But watch these people when they come past. Now she got her phone. She come outside to call. She come outside to call. And that's when they feel the energy weapon. There goes the truck right there. And you just missed the big truck. Wanted something bigger than that. Going down that way. And when I had my camera, my regular camera, a camcorder, I took a picture of an energy weapon that they had brought around. And see, only reason I knew about the energy weapons that they use to give people heart attacks and brain aneurysms because I had saw a couple on YouTube saying where uh, them MK Ultra weapons could give people heart attacks. They were using them deliberately. And one of the guys on there, he said that he knew they had the machines, and they were kind of part of alien technology, but uh, but he had never seen one. And it just so happened when I came outside, I took a picture. I saw the machine right here in front of my house. See how she had her phone in her hand, and she put it on the side. She got it on her, got it on front of her purse. And if she was gonna have it in front, why wouldn't she put it in her purse? You understand what I'm saying? But I saw the energy thing, and I said, "Well, let me see what kind of device this is. Let me see what the name of the company is." So I zoomed in on my camcorder, and I saw a head, and it was an alien's head with a hole in the alien's head with a bolt of electricity in the hole in the alien's head, and I knew right then that was one of the main things that they use to give people brain aneurysms. Facebook is really in on this. I got a lawsuit against them too. They have jeopardized, put me in danger so many times. But I keep telling them no matter what happens, I'm going to keep on riding it. Because I'm going to keep on collecting evidence. And every time you do something, I'm going to record it. And I'm going to make you do what you need to do. So if I call to get a ride and I need someone, take your time. Don't show up. Abandon me like you've been doing. I'm just going to record it. Gotta make a way for me to get home. I'll be all right. But you just give me more and more evidence of what you're doing. I've been going through this thing with Pace now for about 2 years. And that's another organization that I tried to get to help me with this Pace situation with the office, the inspector, office of the office of inspector, executive general, whatever that is. But I've written them. Uh, I've called them and made 5 complaints against Pace. And every time I make a complaint against Pace, they refer me back to Pace to resolve my issues. And the fourth time, I say, why are y'all doing this? Why do y'all keep sending me back, sending the chicken back to the fox? Because you know the fox is going to eat the chicken up. So why y'all keep sending the chicken back to the fox? So they never resolved the issue. So the last time I made a complaint, I sent it to it's supposed to be, I forgot her name, but I got all the paperwork. I got all 5 of complaint letters. I never throw away any paperwork. And that's why they have a problem with me because I document everything. And since they were coming here to steal the paperwork, I make sure I videotape it, take pictures, put it on SD cards, send it to Google somewhere where somebody can reach it. Somewhere. So, Office of Inspector General, I have a lawsuit against them. No, what I was going to tell you about all these businesses. I go into a business, I buy something. Last week I bought a wig. I got home, the wig was damaged. It was all messed up. I go back to the beauty shop. They refuse to exchange it or give me a replacement. Automatically, they call the police. The police tell me to get out of there. Same police officer told you that this woman hit me right next door in this building right here, the 3 apartments with 7 cars. This woman hit me, and they're just gonna sit there because they don't have anything to do. This is another entry weapon. They really have no work. You see, there's no work being done, but they are so entangled in this surveillance with me, and I'm collecting so much evidence that they have no choice but to try to take my life over and over and over again. And I'm not worried about it. So no matter how much evidence I collect, they just still have to do it. They have to just hurt themselves in front of me. They have to just let me collect evidence on them. It's like I say, he's just sitting there. There's no work to be done nowhere. Now they tell you Night Grove was here for 4 months in a row every day. Didn't do anything. Just had the big trucks and everything sitting in front of my house. And he'll sit there. He'll sit there doing nothing. But as I said, all these businesses, I go and buy something, it doesn't be what it is. So of course I tell them I call the store back or Walgreens, Menards, Kurt's, Ace Hardware, um, just about every store I go into. There's been issues with products or services that I'm supposed to have. So uh, I give them a chance to, Frito Lay potato chips. Everywhere I went, seemed like I would get potato chips that were full of mess, that were really horrendous. Now, um, when I called these people, I would tell them, I say, well, uh, the aqua porter, the supposed to be iodine pills that you're supposed to have to in case of emergency to drop in a quart of water and supposed to purify your water. Those weren't real either; they were fake. So I give these people the chance to make good. I call them and try to get the money I spent back, plus what I spent for transportation. Since I'm on a big income and I don't have a car, I can't afford to be running back and forth to these stores, exchanging these products. So all I ask them is the price back for my products and the price back for my products and my car fare. And none of them want to give me that. And I tell them, I said, well, I'm going to take you to court. And they tell me, take me to court. Now, see, that's what I don't understand. If you was a legit business and you weren't on something crazy, you were gonna give me that little, like with, what's this? I got this today. Like with I hope you can see it. Put in some like with Kurt's Ace Hardware. Defend notice of motion. Now this is for a $10 can of turpentine. And as I tell you, they temper with our products now that they know it's good for us. The first time I bought turpentine from Kurt's, it was good. It was like it's supposed to be because they weren't expecting me to buy it. That was something I stumbled up on. But when I went back to get it again, when I brought it home, it wasn't turpentine. So I called Kurt's and I asked them, told them the product wasn't good, that it wasn't what it's supposed to be, and uh, for me to come in here. So he told me something exchange it. I said, well, I'll bring it back. I said, but uh, that's $10 for the turpentine I heard plus car fare. My car fare getting back and forth to bring the product back. Now that's $10 for the product plus tax, maybe $11. And then that's I said another $10 for my car fare back and forth to the store. So that's $20. So that's all I'm asking for. $20. And he told me no. He said take him to court. I don't understand all these businesses that I'm touching. And as you can see, we have a court date on the 22nd. Um, yeah, that's the case number. We have a court date on the 22nd of this month at 9 a.m. Now, as I told you, each one of them, when they don't do what they're supposed to do, I don't let them. I don't play with them. And I know I can't win these cases because I know all the judges are crooked and corrupt. But the thing is, for me to collect evidence, I have to go in front of these courts to prove that these judges are going to side with these people no matter what. That they're going to let them get away with things no matter what. But my logic is, every case I've taken before these judges, and it's been about 15, they have thrown out, dismissed. Won't even give me a continuance. Just outright dismiss them or tell me to my paperwork weren't right. Or they have right out lied to me. Like Judge Wallace. She told me that I could not sue Social Security in state court. It had to be federal. Even though the paperwork, the law library says I can sue in state court, Judge Wallace told me I couldn't. So I took it to federal court, and in chambers, they went behind my back. They didn't even tell me a court date or anything. A judge went into chambers with the lawyer, and they dismissed the case without me even knowing anything about it. So I tried to bring it back in state, and they won't let me bring it back in state, and I took it back to federal, and they threw it out again. No court date, no nothing. But Judge Wallace, I've been trying to sue Pontiac Penitentiary because my son is there. And they have not allowed him to write out. He can't write his family, he can't write his friends. If I send him money, they take his money because they say it has to go for his uh, uh, legal paperwork that he's sending out to try to represent himself about the way they're treating him in there. And so when I send him money, they confiscate all of it. So I called his social worker. Her name is Miss Jones too. And I recorded that conversation, and she told me that some of my church members send him money out there too, and they confiscate all of that. And she told me that for his legal paperwork going out, they have to take every dime that comes in for him. And I said, well, you don't even give him money for personal. She said, no, because he owed for paperwork. I said, nah, this is a cycle. I said, because if every time somebody sends him money, you take it, he'll never be able to write his family or friends. She said, yes, that's the case. Now, I don't know how these people are sitting like this where they pull these stunts and know all this is illegal. Because one time I went to see him, and the guard, one of the guards there, I asked to see the warden because I want to know why in all this time, it's been since 2013 that I haven't, my son hasn't been able to write me. So, uh, I asked to speak to the warden, and she asked me why. And I told her because my son is not able to write me, and I want to know why after this time that he's still not able to write his family and friends. And she told me she saw nothing in his file. She called the mailroom. She saw nothing that says he could not write out. So she told me to go when I see him. She said visit him. She said and ask him who told him he could not write out. And he told me the warden told him, and we discussed it. And when I went downstairs, she said, well, tell him to write you. If you don't get a letter in a week from him, give me a call. She gave me her number and her name. She said, give me a call, and I'll see what's going on. And when I called back, after I hadn't heard from them, they put a woman on the phone that acted like she had laryngitis. It wasn't the same person at all. And I asked her what was wrong with her voice, and she said, well, I got laryngitis. They pull those stunts all the time. But still today, I'm not able to write my son. And they've tried to take his life a few times. But I just pray that God keep him covered and hold up because them situations in the penitentiaries are really horrific. And I made a video about how horrible those conditions are, not in just where my son at, but all over the country, all over this United States. They're shutting them down because they don't want to feed them anymore. They're giving them old food, giving them food to spoil, giving them food with maggots in it. They're not trying to spend any money on them. They're not paying in the wintertime. They ain't giving them heat. The conditions are horrendous. They're shutting them down where they can communicate with their families. That's one that video I made with Gerald Larry. I told people, if you have someone locked up in one of these institutions, please check on them because they have cut down the lines of communications with their JPay. They can't email it out and call out anymore. They don't want these prisoners discussing what's going on inside them systems. Because my brother's in Ohio, and he's going through some horrendous things too. And I called out there because I don't hear from him, and I asked him what's going on. But I don't ask him anything because I don't hear from him. So I called Miss Smith, his social worker, and she pulls some crazy stunts too. For weeks at a time, they don't answer my calls. And one time she answered after I called and complained to 1,000 different people. She called me and said that she saw my brother, he's fine, and they gave him emergency surgery, heart surgery, without notifying his family. And see, the issue I had about that was, he called me. He said, sis, he said, I keep having, every time he said, I eat this food, I have a problem with my throat. He says, it's like something I eat. He said, today, he said, I have a problem with my throat, and it pained me real bad. And they called ambulance, and they took me to the doctor and took me to a hospital. And he said, then they transferred me to another hospital, and they transferred me to another hospital. He said, now they want to do emergency surgery on my heart. And he said, I told him ain't nothing wrong with my heart. He said, so I'm calling you to let you know that if something happened, these people are trying to give me emergency surgery on my heart. And I told him, I said, you don't have to take it. I said, tell them, you don't want the surgery. He said, well, I told him, I don't want it because he said, I ate something. He said, something wrong with it. It's in my throat. Ain't nothing wrong with my heart. So I didn't hear from him for weeks. So I started calling out there again. And when I finally contacted him, he said that they gave him the surgery anyway, against his permission. They gave him the surgery anyway, against his permission. And they took the. He had my telephone number in case of emergency. He had my sister Rosie's telephone number, and they took my number and my sister's number away from him, so he could not contact us. And then they did not give him his pen, so he can, when he did get the numbers back, that he couldn't call out. Now, if it was that important that he needed that surgery that bad, why didn't they contact his family and let us know that he was sick enough that he needed the surgery? Even if he needed surgery and he said no, at least contact his family and let us know what's happening before he said no, and you gave him the surgery anyway without contacting his family or anybody. Well, that's another thing. But as I said, these businesses. One more thing. Not just in Illinois about the penitentiary. Ohio, where my brother is locked up. And I saw an article not too long ago about in Alabama that the conditions are really horrific there. That the inmates in Alabama has rioted and started some fires in their cells because of the conditions had gotten so bad. So I encourage anybody who got any family and you care about your family, please check on them if you don't hear from them because they shut them down where they can't communicate with the outside. But as I said, I got about 15 cases. And like I said, this one was for $20 for Kurtz, $10 for the product, and $10 for car fare for my transportation. So he would rather me take him to court to pay a high price lawyer because them lawyers in them courtrooms that come up to be before me are not the average lawyers. You can tell by the suits them old expensive suits and them expensive shoes and the cut of their hair. These are not the fly by night lawyers. These are some tycoons. These are some good lawyers. So you rather pay these high price lawyers to come before me and than to pay me $20. Number one, what sense does it make even to pay a regular lawyer $500? You can just give me $20. And that's what all of these lawsuits about. And this sets a pattern by itself. Because number one, when they start dismissing the cases, and I start making videos about the judges just dismissing them, then two of these lawyers, and who is this lawyer? What is this lawyer? Timothy McMadden. If I was a lawyer, I would tell my client, why would you pay me all this money instead of giving her the $20? That doesn't make any sense. Why a lawyer would take a case instead of telling his client to give up $20? What kind of ethics is that? But like I said, when I started making the video about how to just keep throwing my cases out and dismissing them, they want him dismissed for it. And let me see what he's saying he's dismissed for. Curtis Hardware motion to dismiss a plaintiff complaint at law a couple of years, sir. Now, this turpentine, as it says on here. Plaintiff complaint pursuant. Plaintiff Jones filed her complaint against Curtis Ace Hardware July 15. Complaint alleged that she purchased a can of turpentine from the defendant. Defendant alleged said the can pure turpentine spirits. Plaintiff father alleged that the can was not pure gum spirits, and it wasn't. The defendant refused to compensate her for problems she had after depending on the product to be what it says, and that's what I'm talking about. Because law states, no matter what you use the product for, it doesn't matter. Because when I called her, I told him I was using it for different other things. Like I showed you, I use it for insecticide, like our grandparents and stuff used to do in the past, and I ingest it because my mom used to give it to me on sugar cubes for parasites, for worms, as a kid. I've been taking it for years. So if you tell me this product is pure, 100% pure turpentine, that's what I expect your product to be. Now, if you say it's just for Kurt's logic is this product is only used for thinning paint and this and that. Those are what the purpose is for. It doesn't matter what you say the purpose is for. It is supposed to be 100% of what you say it is. He said, well, you ingested. Of course, it doesn't matter whether I ingested or not. That has nothing to do with the fact that what you gave me was not what you said it was going to be. Because if it's supposed to be 100% turpentine and I took it, I would have been fine. But if you give me a product that you say is 100% turpentine and it has some other additives or some other things in it that I don't know about, you put my life in danger because you're giving me toxins or ingredients that I didn't expect. So when you sell me a product and it's not pure turpentine, no matter what my purpose of use for it is, you did not sell me the product that you say it is. So what lawyer? I'm standing on the fact of you're saying you sold me a product and what you say it's supposed to be. And I took video showing that product couldn't even thin paint. I took video of showing that it didn't even do what it was supposed to do. So it still couldn't have been pure. 100% pure turpentine. So you rather take you to court, pay this expensive lawyer, than to give me $20. Now 3M water filters sold me a water filter that I bought at Menards that was defective. I asked them to take it back. They told me to mail it in. I was going to mail it in, and I asked them, "Well, are you going to send me the price back? How much are you going to send me back?" and she told me less than what I paid for it. Now, I think I paid like $40 for it, 40, 45, whatever. But she was going to send me like $28. And I told her, how would you send me $28? Because you don't have a receipt. But she told me what the price was. But if you know what the price is, why would you send me less than what I paid for it? Because I don't have a receipt. Menards do that too. They'll tell you that if you don't have a receipt, they have to pay you less than what you paid for. Really? But these people are getting away with robbery without a gun. But I told 3M I'd take them to court. 3M, for $40, they had to pay a lawyer. And we set up a court date. Lay's potato chips. Bad potato chips. I told them I'll settle for. They told me they'll send me, because I bought a few bags and I took pictures and showed them how bad these chips was. They told me they'll send me a $10 gift card. That I'd get it in 7 or 10 days. Never got the gift card. So they have to wind up getting a lawyer for $10. Now, as the cases that have been coming before me, these lawyers been throwing them now, is that Miss Jones has 15 cases before the court that she keeps suing everybody. And I want them to bring up that argument. Because number one, if you see the amount of money that I asked these people for, and you would, all the 15 cases, you talking about frivolous, petty, you would bring these cases into court, all these 15 lawyers would take cases that's paying less than $100? Wow. Like my store down the street where I bought the honey bun. All I wanted was $1. Just for him to give me my dollar back for what I spent for that honey bun that made me sick. And they refused to give me my dollar. So we wind up going to court. And that's what I'm saying. 15 cases. Every one of them less than $100. So if they want to take me to court and say and throw before the judge that I have all these cases, y'all check y'all clients. And you lawyers, check yourselves. Because why would you represent somebody? Why would you tell all y'all clients not to pay off that little money, not to pay that dollar, not to pay that $30, with 3M, not to pay that? Why couldn't you just pay her that $40 instead of paying me this? And there, these lawyers, I'm getting much more than $500. You can tell the way they dress. Well, why would 15 lawyers tell each one of their clients, let's go to court before this, instead of giving her that little bit amount of money? So, like I said, I gave each and every one of them a chance to settle this without going to court. And every one of them decide not to pay me $30, $10, $1. They better go to court. Well, I made